Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Greg here, my home trails of Rocky Knob in Boone, North Carolina, and today I want to show you the opposite way to go on Middle Earth, which is a blue square trail, but it's pretty hard. But also I want to have a discussion about clipless versus flat pedals and shoes. I recently got my first ever pair of clipless pedals and shoes. Crankbrothers Mallet E's and the Crankbrothers Mallet Boa, I want to call them. Anyway, it is not my first ride on these, but it's probably my third. But I already have some idea of what the differences are, and really I want to dive into the nitty-gritty, because a lot of sites will just be like, clips are better for this and flats are better for this, but I think it's more nuanced than that, so let's talk about it here on Descent at Best. All right, so I am here on Rocky Branch going the opposite way, about to go up middle of nowhere, and this is like the hardest climb possible. I think it's a good place to start off talking about flats versus clips, because I never probably would have even attempted this going uphill on flats. You do get better wattage, so we can probably fast forward through it until the end. But I think I can do this. Mission completion. Woo! Okay, so continuing up the middle of nowhere trail toward Middle Earth, I want to start off with kind of the cliches or the stereotypes of flats and clipless pedals. Flats tend to have some benefits, according to most folks. Well, if you're doing like dirt jumping, can't do a Superman if you're clipped in. So people who are going really crazy on jumps and need to be able to, you know, take a foot off the pedal or land sketchy and still kind of dab the foot and keep you upright, that's one thing. Also, flats tend to allow you to put a foot down motocross style if you're going to be going around berms downhill at super fast speeds and you want to avoid potentially tipping over and stuff. So those are kind of extreme use cases that don't apply to most people. Don't apply to me. All right, so as I continue the climb, what I mean by requiring more of a nuanced discussion with regard to flats and clipless pedals is uphill versus downhill, green circle versus blue square versus black diamond. Those different contexts really change the discussion. So for green circles, I think without a doubt, uphill and down, clipless pedals are better. There's no terrain you got to worry about. You're not going to be bailing. And I think the same holds true for blue squares. All right, when we start getting into the black diamonds, I mean, this is a blue square, but most places it would be a black diamond. This is where uphill versus downhill matters. So what we've got up here is probably a 20-25 foot rock garden where there's no trail, it's all rock. And going up a rock garden like that, I think if you already have ridden the trail once before, you know, you kind of know it a little bit, or you know what line you're going to take, I think you go clipless, because you're less likely to stall out. If you start stalling out, you're going to push forward rather than bail, right? It's that forced commitment that really helps you ratchet yourself up. If you're going downhill on kind of any rock garden, I think clipless pedals are better. Clipping in is the hard part. I think I got it. Yeah, there was a part where I felt like I was falling off the back, and I don't have that choice to just put a foot down easily because it takes that extra motion. So I had to put everything into a pedal stroke, and now here I am, and I cleaned it. Now, are flats like bad for that kind of thing? Uh-oh. No. Yes, I just tipped over because I couldn't clip out. So you will look silly. Boo. Let's try it again. Well, that was embarrassing. But yeah, if you can deal with those kind of things, yeah, the forced commitment can really help though. Like I'm gonna do this drop. It's the really big drop. And I have to commit now. I can't stop and do a run up. So here we go. So now I'm on the jam, and jumping is something I find is a lot easier on clipless. I think it's because there's no fear that if you really pop and really try to explode that you're gonna like come off your pedals. Not that that was a founded fear before, but I just commit to jumping higher, I think. Check it out. No problem. All right, time to get down to business. On Middle Earth, going the opposite way. Definitely do not do this on a weekend when it's really populated. But this here is a Monday morning. Here we go. Now there's a couple alternate lines up here that I'm not going to take. Right over there. And here too. But again, I'm new to this clipless thing and I would need to be able to bail if something bad happened. So I'm going to keep it close to the vest. Now those of you who have climbed this, you know that it's a pretty tight, twisty trail, so it's really not a opener up downhill. And there's some technical bits, but it's still fun. Like this berm is too tight to really nail. Here we go. Whew. Barely made that. Just pitter-pattering over these is so much fun going downhill. You do get some uphills though. I think I've got one coming up soon. Yep. You got to charge on this. And there's one more in a little while, but let's let her run for a minute. Oh yeah, it's this. Hi-ya! One thing I should mention about clipless pedals, and it's on every clipless pedal video, is the placement of the cleat is super important. And people are always like, yeah, you want to make sure you jam the cleat down as far toward the heel of the shoe as you can. Well, I've done that and it still feels a little too far forward for me.
If you have any suggestions, I'm thinking of cutting the shoe farther on the slot so it can change position more, but I don't really know. Mine are right on the ball of my foot, and I wish they were a little bit behind it. Here comes another couple climbs. Maybe just one. Let's go! Yo! That is awesome. And then we get to the end of Rocky Branch at a tight turn here. Now I'm not going to hit it because, again, I've never ridden it and I'm on these clipless pedals, but they opened up kind of an OG extra credit line. I'll show you. It's over here. Like if you keep pedaling up toward the left there's a little mini rock slab with a little drop on it. I look forward to trying that out. But today, let's just take her home. Another thing about the bottom of Rocky Branch here is that they changed the very end. It's a little more twisty, so you can't just straight line bomb it. It gets a little sketchy. You gotta hit the brakes here because they put a bunch of rocks there and rerouted it, and it can get dangerous. My calves are burning. You know, you get more calf action on the clipless if they're a little far forward as far as the cleats. Don't love that. This is sweet though. They put this rock here. Dig. Yeah. One jump, two jump. What a fun way to end. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me here at Rocky Knob today. Just wanted to give my initial thoughts on clipless pedals versus clips, or versus flats rather. I'm interested in your thoughts, how much better some of these negatives get as you get used to them about the clipless. And I'll see you soon. Cheers.